And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel. Glad you're with us here on a little windy Saturday morning, but the sun is out. We're on the turf today, just like we were yesterday. Looking forward to a Saturday afternoon of racing. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Brew and bourbon and brew, whatever you want to
Right.
call it. We've got that going on this afternoon. We were back on the turf yesterday. Some good prices. How about the early pick 4,500 stand?
Yeah.
I mean, prices abound at Laurel Park, and we saw a really nice firster. We're going to talk about that later. Let's talk about the Brew and Bourbon Festival, though, first, guys.
Yeah, Brew and Bourbon,
Yeah.
60 different beers and bourbons with a live horse racing today. It starts at 12 noon today, the Brew and Bourbon Classic. You can get walk-in tickets at the Carriage Room. So if you want to go have some fun with the Brew and Bourbon Classic, go on down to the Carriage Room. You can still get tickets. Starts at noon. Over 60 different beers and bourbons. Should be something for everybody down there. They're going to have hand-rolled cigars as well. The food trucks are going to be out. Should be a big crowd down there on the apron.
Looking forward. We usually get a really nice turnout for this, and I know they're going to have part of it inside today as well to kind of help deal with the weather. So, yeah, very accommodating at Laurel Park, and we've got a really good card in front of us today. And I like a couple horses today at some shots. Yeah.
You mentioned yesterday a couple of impressive debut winners yesterday. That first-time starter for trainer Timmy Keefe, still having fun. I was at a Maryland bred by Old Fashioned. What an impressive win that was. And then you had the El Padrino, first-time starter in the last race for Michael Matz.
El Padrino hitting with everything, it seems. A really hot sire right now, but still having fun. The team, Tim Keefe, firster. You don't see his horses bet like that.
Right.
Okay, his first-time starters. This horse was bet early and bet often and didn't really disappoint. Had a little trouble out of the gate, leaned in, hit the gate, was off a step slow, but really accelerated nicely from the 3/8 of the quarter and sustained the run to go away. A little bit green late on the left lead, but widening 1:10-3, I believe it was the final time.
So we had some
10-4.
fast times, a couple races yesterday. The 6 furlong times, 1:10 and change. So fast main track yesterday. Let's show you the track conditions for today. A little warmer today here. I think we're going to be up in the 50s today. We're fast on the main track, good on the turf. I thought the turf course held up pretty well yesterday.
Absolutely. Guys have done a great job. They had a little bit of a break. I know they've been working on it, rolling it and such. Not a ton of divots. I mean, there were some, but all in all, times were relatively okay. Looked like everybody got around there safe, so looking for another day. I think good is the right way. I think it's going to stay like that condition the rest of the way, just with the weather that we're dealing with in this area. But you wanted to be fairly close, Stan, turning from. You didn't want to be more than maybe 4 or 5 out of it. Turning from, you saw Sweet Little Lies at a good price with Sheldon Russell. Really put that filly into the race by the time they hit to the top of the stretch and really kicked on nicely from there. So that's it. Well, back on. Good to be back on the turf.
We have a nice carryover here in the open. Let's get right to it here in race 1. Let's show you the carryover we have in that rolling super high five. $10,358 starts in race 1. Has a low 15% takeout. If they don't hit it in the first race, we have no super high five in the second race. It'll carry over to the third race. So if they don't hit it here in the opener, there's no telling what that carryover will be for the third race. So keep your eye on that super high five here in race 1. Race 1 also kicks off your early pick 5, both pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. You know, what did it pay yesterday? 4,400 or something?
Yeah.
And you can get some monster payouts on that early pick 5. Let's take a look at the opener. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track here for race 1, claiming 10,003 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. I go with the 3 Awesome Standard. My top pick here from the Kenny Decker barn. Angel Serpa will ride. Serpa was aboard for the win 2 starts ago when this horse broke its maiden at the maiden 10 level. Won by almost 5 lengths that day. Strong 64 buyer. Maybe he regressed a little bit last out up at Delaware, but still ran a good race. Second, just beating the neck. Maybe he gets back closer to that 64 number today. He's 1 for 1 here at Laurel Park. This is where Kenny Decker trains. I'll go with the 3 Awesome Standard, my top pick here in race 1.
Yeah, we caught him that day, too, back for that maiden score with a nice buyer of 64. That's probably going to be about the winning number, I think, for this race, somewhere in the low 60s. Gets a little help. Aravano is scratched out of this race. Scratched the plain 1, Aravano, and scratched the 2 Papacho in race 1. You're going to have to work to get this super high five, no doubt about it. You see by the morning line, I thought it was kind of wide open. Now with a couple scratches, and some horses might hedge down. I would not take more than 5 to 2 or 3 on any of these horses. Top selection is going to be the 7, Break the Mold. We've got a stat for Jose Corrales, who can pretty much do no wrong right now, it looks like. Jose Corrales, if we've got that stat guy, over the last 2 years, Corrales, 6 for 16 and 7 for 16 in the money with last out winners in races of 10,000 or less. Look at that ROI, over $6. Break the mold went first time for Corrales last time out, and a big emphatic win at 24-1. My only question is, where's Barnes on this horse?
Yeah.
We've got Trujillo now, so that's a little bit intriguing to kind of figure that angle out. I'm not quite sure, but break the mold. There is plenty of speed in here. This horse made a big sweeping move on the turn. I think he's right back with that kind of stat. How can you go against it?
Gets Elvis Trujillo, who's riding here this fall, and they're going to stay here all winter, according to his agent Kevin Whitty. So a new rider here in the jockey colony. I like the 7. I'll use that runner in my top 3. We both like the 8 as well. Earned it for trainer Howard Wolfendale. Alex Cintron will ride. Good third at this level last time, going 7 furlongs, coming from way off the pace. So the 6 furlongs might be a little too short. But if there's a fast early pace, Cintron should be getting a nice stalking trip on the outside.
Yeah, this is a horse. It hasn't really kind of that big kick, but it might look that big today with the speed that's up in front of him. Might enhance the late run, especially shortening up a furlong to the 6 furlong distance. We've got video on the 6 Ice Lake. I think this horse is going to hold at a fairly square price all the way through, maybe 4-1, 9-2 when it's all said and done. But let's go back to Ice Lake's last race on the 28th of October. We got the horse highlighted there. Was down inside, showed a little bit more speed than I would have hoped. I would have hoped this horse kind of maybe would have rated off the pace, but gets caught down inside that day. And you see Argento pretty good with pretty quick early speed. Ice Lake just was hampered every step of the way. This horse makes a move going to the 3/8 pole, and looks like not maybe a winning move. Is able to put a head in front, but Ice Lake really can't sustain. Argento though, the long shot at 40-1, just kind of doing all the dirty work up front. Ice Lake not getting a good trip as well. But My Train is a horse that ends up winning it for Dale Capuano. There goes Ice Lake to make that move. Gets a short lead at the 3/8. Argento kind of sees the lead right there. But this is, these two just did too much damage. 23 and a tick, not terribly fast on the front end, but on the worst part of the racetrack, that's good enough, guys. And Ice Lake is going to kind of fade away through the final quarter of a mile. Turning back to 6, Ice Lake, I'd like to see a little bit of rating move and maybe move outside the horses and make a bid.
I use them in my top 4. You get the 7-pound apprentice, Luis Rodriguez there for trainer Carlos Mancia with the 6, Ice Lake. So a 10,002 life to kick things off today with that carryover and the super high 5, a little over 10,000. Keep your eye on that. If they don't hit it in race 1, we'll have a very big carryover in the 3rd race for that super high 5. Let's take a look here at the 2nd race to kick off the early pick 4. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 16,000 for 2-year-old fillies. And I go to the outside here. First-time starter from the Dale Capuano barn. You like this 2-year-old filly as well. She's by despite the odds. And real quick about Dale Capuano. Just keeps winning and winning and winning. Now 3,337 wins. Wow. Let's talk about this filly. The Dam and a Cherry Tree by Chief Seattle. The Dam was 2 for 13, made 58,000. She was stakes play sprinting on the turf. The second Dam was even better. Second Dam was 6 for 42, made 137,000. Both older siblings for this filly have won, including a half sibling, Bring It On Home, who's 3 for 9, made 44,000. 3 for 5 sprinting on the dirt. So I like the outside post here for this first-time starter. We're getting Lasix in debuts. Enough good works here on the work tab for a barn that's really going well, and you get a good veteran rider, Steve Hamilton.
Yeah, I like the kind of sneaky good works back in October 4th and October 16th, a 102 and a 102 and 3, breezing over the surface. Kind of a bargain price. Got this horse for $2,000. Catches a suspect field. Over his career, Dale Capuano with 2-year-old maiden claiming first-time starters, 18% with a positive ROI. Sluicer gets a good draw to the outside for its debut.
All right, so we both like the 8-7. Tiz Octavia, first-time starter for trainer Faith Leatherman. This is a well-bred filly by Freedom Child, and the Freedom Childs have come out running this year. This filly's out of a Tiz now mare. Some works over there at Pimlico. You get the 5-pound apprentice Jen Miller, who's won on a couple first-time starters. Lasix in debut here for the 7.
Yes. Scratch the 6, Lillard Hall, who was your morning line favorite, and scratch the 4, Simmer's View of Firster. We're going to have to wait for another day for both of those two. But Caledonia, the 1, is now going to probably be the morning, not going to be the morning, going to be the favorite in this race, I would think, unless Sluicer just gets pounded. Caledonia, the blinkers go on. The speed came back last time at Delaware. Had a trouble 2 races back. The debut run's good. was good behind Truly Wicked. I don't know what happened at Timonium. Didn't run a step over that good surface. But coming back, this horse rounding back into her better form, she's going to be tough from the inside. I don't know if anybody can kind of go with her early.
Well, you have to hope the blinkers are going to help her focus early on. She's going to need to break well and get out of there running with Angel Serpa aboard. So I use her in my top 3, and we both like the 3 a little bit here as well. Donna's Delight has to do better than her debut against Maiden 40,000. 2-year-old daughter of Outflanker taking a big drop here for Kieran McGee.
Yeah, going back, looking at that dam, if I'm not mistaken, a couple first-time starter winners, debut winners for Coquettish. That's a win early family there for Donna's Delight. I think this horse will improve on the drop.
All right, let's take a look here at race 3. We're going a mile in the 3rd race, claiming 5,000 3-year-old fillies or older filly mares. Never won 3 races. We have a video spotlight here for you with the 6 Postino Secret. Here's her race from October 29th here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, October 29th at a mile and a 16. So we're going to go 2 turns back to 1 turn today. Maybe Postino Secret wants a little bit more ground. But Florida Force, the favorite, had the best trip of all. Got the jump on Postino Secret. Gets a little bit weary late, this Florida Force. Postino Secret just keeps on grinding. And just misses here late, makes a final surge. Florida Force has enough left. The key for today for Postino Secret is hopefully get enough flow up in front and be within the race by the time hits the head of the stretch. You see these 1-turn races, the 1-turn miles. Horses don't seem to close more than 3 or 4 lengths from the top of the stretch home. This horse is going to have them in range unless there's a really big pace meltdown. I think Postino Secret moving in the right direction for Dorothy Wharton. Got a win yesterday.
Sure,
the barn with a nice score with Feel Proud. Going to be tough right back. I think Postino Secret.
The barn doing well. I used the 6 in my top 4. We both like the 11, Florida Force. We just saw the 11 winning that race. We just showed you a 2-time winner here at Laurel Park for this 3-year-old filly. Jonathan Maldonado having a very strong meet, and Joe Moore Torres having a nice meet as well. So the 11 Florida Force is going to be one of the favorites in the 3rd race. I think tough to beat.
Yeah, no doubt. Could maybe go to favoritism just because basically the post draw and the way this track has kind of played. This main track was a little bit more fair yesterday. And Summer Something that looks like the speed of speed. You just got to toss the race in the Maryland Million just to have starter. Was down inside. Look at those internals, 23, 46, and 4. Just didn't want to last after that, after battling. I think with an alert break, she is quick enough probably to clear, but still going to try to go for a little bit better price with the 6 here. Postino Secret, hoping a couple of those other ones make moves into Summer Something early.
How about a little long shot here?
Right.
12-1 shot. The 9 Vaughn for trainer Jose Corrales gets my man Jose Barnes to ride. Barnes has been on this horse the last 4 races. A win in 2 seconds was the horse been running at Charlestown. So now comes back to Laurel's 0 for 3 here at Laurel Park, but does train here at Laurel Park. So good to see Vaughn in this race with Jose Barnes.
Yeah, definitely, I think an underneath type. I think 12-1. You're going to get around that price, 10, 12-1. I don't know if she can get over the top against these horses, but a definite user, I think, in your exactest tries is Supers.
Okay, let's get a quick commercial break. We'll talk about the pick 6 and the late pick 5. I have a late pick 5 ticket today. You have a late pick 4. Some nice allowance races coming up in the second part of the card. We'll take a look at those right after this. Welcome back today at the races. We're live here by the historic Laurel Park paddock, getting you ready for a nice Friday afternoon of racing. Let's take a look at the 4th race. It's going to kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 today, and we had a single going into the last race yesterday for a little over $1,200. So it still plays to play the Pick 6 even when there's no big carryover. We have a little small carryover today, about $400 here in the Pick 6. This race also kicks off the middle Pick 4, going 5.5 furlongs on the all-along turf course here for the 4th race, claiming $16,000 for 3-year-olds or older horses. Never won 3, and I go with the 4 Speedy Slew, my top pick here from the Mike Trombetta barn. Alex Centron will ride his 3-year-old gelding by Brilliant Speed. Nice win sprinting on the turf back in September. That was on a good turf course against 16,000 2 Life Company. Ran okay against 16,000 3 Life back on September 23rd. That was a firm turf course, so he's going to have a little more give in the turf today with Alex Cintron aboard. I like the 4.
Yeah, and he's looking for some speed up top, looking for a pace battle. Speedy Slew just kind of bounced a little bit maybe off of that race 3 races back. But that number 3 races back was on a good surface, that 67. The kind of surface he's going to get today. I think a more substantial late kick for Speedy Slew is in order this afternoon. I think the speed of Crimson Secret could be awfully dangerous on a slight little drop in class. I know the 8 through Appalachia has some speed. Crimson Secret, a horse that owes me no money. You go back to July, a good effort in the 2 in Life, just hanging on for dear life. A similar number, a 67 buyer, something like that's going to do it. I think from the outside, this horse can kind of get clear, relax, and just move back down to this level is the key. The 2-back try for 25 wasn't that bad behind Ruby's Boy, but a couple scratches in this race, Stan. We're going to take out the main trackers, the 2 and the 7, but scratch the 6, no fear. That brings in the 16, Princetonian for Joan Reynolds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. And Karamanos is on that horse. Karamanos was on this 4-year-old gelding last time. He just missed by a neck at this level.
Yeah, Jones got this horse in really, really top form. Look at that. She's 15 starters here, only 1 win, but 7 seconds and 2/3. Horses at Charlestown running well. Everything in the barn is sharp. They're getting play at the windows. Princetonian gets a good stalking trip and will be dangerous. Don't forget this horse does draw in this afternoon, the 16 Princetonian.
Yeah, you have to respect that horse. Probably a must-use in the early multi-race wagers. I didn't use the horse just because none of my 4 top picks scratched, but must use if you're playing those multi-race wagers here in the 4th race. Who else we have?
Tightly bridled, obviously, I think is going to sit a great trip again, a stalking trip inside. It's just his inability to follow through. But against this field, he's going to be a serious threat, definitely from the final, from the eighth pole to the wire. This horse is going to be in the mix. He just got to sustain. He's just not quite doing it.
And the 10 Zapata is going to be part of the early pace at least. This horse has run some big races on the turf here at Laurel Park. A win and a second from 4 starts to get Angel Serpa aboard this 5-year-old son of Ghost Hopper for Kieran McGee. Zapata, I think, could be right there. And I used the 14 Magician's Bags for trainer Mike Trombetta. I think it's a class relief today from that Maryland Bred Allowance race. Last out, won by Dr. Bolt. Easter Bay's back in today. Yeah. I think the 14 Magician's Bags gets a class relief today for strong connections here. Trombetta and Julian Pimentel.
Might be the thorn in my side for Crimson Secret. Might do the dirty work for the stablemate.
Right.
For your top selection, the 4. Speedy, so a little bit of rider tactics in race 4 might be in order.
All right, let's take a look here at the late pick 5 starting in race 5. No carryover today, but as always, more money back to you, the better with that industry low 12% takeout on the late pick 5. It starts right here in the 5th race. I have a ticket. Let's take a look, a $36 play for me. I'll go 4 deep here in the 5th race, so with my top pick being the 11. On the outside here, Midnight Romeo, 6-1 for your lead trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. So I'll go 2, 5, 8, 11 here in race 5. Race 6, a turf route. I'll go 3 deep there. The 11 is going to be my top pick. Bombonero, the 4, Bow Spirit should be tough, and I'm not going to let the 15 Kid Jeter and Edgar Prado beat me. So I use Kid Jeter as well. I'm going to single on the Dale Capuano runner. D-Cap could have a big Saturday afternoon. I'm going to single on the 6 Tricky Lion in that Maryland Bred Allowance race, race 7. Nice 2 other than allowance feature of the day coming up in the 8th race, sprinting on the turf. I love the 4 Northern Eclipse, but the Delacour runner is going to be awfully tough. The 1A more than likely. And then going 3 deep there in the finale. Spread more in that race if you can. That's a maiden 10, 3/4 on the main track. I like a 12-1 shot in there with Jevion Toledo aboard for Cal Lynch, the 8 Big Bold Bach there in the finale. So using the 4, 8, 10 there. So $36 play here for the late pick 5.
Yeah, not a real easy stretch of races. And you talk about the 9th race. Trombetta's horse, I lined at 3. Could go off at 8-5 maybe. I just had a tough time with that race and that horse in particular. Going to take a lot of play. Could be a single on a lot of people's tickets. That may be the race. If we can get that horse beat, could really kind of elevate the prices.
Okay, let's take a look here at the 5th race. 7 furlongs on the main track, claiming $10,000 for 3-year-old fillies or filly mares. Never won 3 races. And I go to the outside here, the 11 for your leading trainer. Claudio Gonzalez gets the 7-pound apprentice. Franklin Sabalos aboard. They're 35% together here at Laurel Park. And this horse had a sharp win 2 starts ago at Delaware. First off the claim for Gonzalez. That was against 16,000 2 Life, going 6 furlongs on the main track, and then didn't like the mud last out at all here at Laurel Park against Starter Allowance Company. Takes a drop today to the 10,003 life. I love the 11 here, Midnight Rodeo on top.
Yeah, she's quick, and she wasn't as quick, though, as Keep Your Distance last time out. Kieran's runner was able to kind of get to the front. She did a lot of work chasing this horse, stays at the 7 for a long distance, and the main speed, the other main speed threat, I think, is to her inside Bal Harbor miss. So maybe she can kind of just sit outside of that one and make a move around the turn. I think that might be the best way to go for the 11, Midnight Romeo. Top selection here, the 8. My Golden Rose for King Leatherberry. I know Kieran's going to be a short price for the 5, Bring Me Answers, but I think My Golden Rose coming back to her best distance. She's 2 for 2 with 7 furlongs. Last time out, a little flattening at a mile. You go back to the race prior, a good number. Sit and made a big move and drew clear. I think this horse gets a similar type of trip today, can settle and make the one circling move to get it done. Might have to hedge back a little bit better back into those like lower 60 numbers, but I think My Golden Rose, second off the claim, will be okay for King.
Yeah, ran big last out going a mile. I love the cutback from a mile to 7 furlongs, and this filly's 2 for 2 going 7 furlongs. So looks like a nice claim here for Leatherberry. You get the leading rider, Jevion Toledo. The 8, My Golden Rose, absolutely looks like one of the horses to beat on paper here. The 5, we both go against the 5 here. Bring Me Answers for Kieran. Ran okay last out in the mud going 7 furlongs. The 3-year-old filly is a 3-time winner going against older horses who haven't won 3. You get Caramanos aboard. I'm just so-so on this filly.
It's managed the right way, back to where, they lost her for 10,000, right? And this horse, maybe the mud moved her up a little bit. She might be a little bit better with some moisture in the racetrack. And she kind of slugged up for a piece last time, but the number works. She'll have some targets to run at up top. You can't leave her out of any of your multi-race gimmicks. And the 9, Andy Mack, will be my price user in race number 5. Andy Mack, 3rd time off of a layoff. Good angle for horses that have run for 10,000 or less for Trombetta. He's 3 for 8 and 5 for 8 in the money with this kind of move over the last 2 years.
And you get the 5-pound apprentice, Jen Miller. Hasn't ridden much for Trombetta, but she's riding this filly here, the 9, Andy Mack, in race 5. Let's take a look here at the 6th race. I know you like the late pick 4. It starts here in race 6. Let's take a look at your ticket.
Yeah, late pick 4, $48 ticket, or is it 42? It might be 42, guys. I might have did my math wrong or wrote it down, but I usually don't like going this high on a late pick 4, but the last race, I think we've got a spread. Too deep to get it started. The 1 and the 4, 7th race, the 1, the 5, and the 6. Tricky line, as you said, stands going to be awfully tough in race 7. Race 8, I think the 2 obvious horses, really, the 1, the 1 8 more in likely, and the 7, Summer Frock. If you can go one more in there, maybe 2, you use the 3, Biotoper, and the 4, Northern Eclipse. Spread in the last, the 1, 4, 7. 9, 10, 11, and 12. But 11 is now out. That's going to take that ticket down. So scratch the 11 out of the 9. So we'll shorten it up a little bit from that 42 or 48, what we had. But we've got to get it started. We're only going to go too deep, guys, in race number 6.
Well, I like how you have a lot of coverage there. In the last race, that's a wide open maiden 10. 3/4 on the main track. All right, first leg here of the late pick 4, going a mile and a 16th on the Dahlia Turf Course, rail at 52 feet, 25,000 starter allowance contest here in this race. Kid Jeter, I don't pick him on top today, but the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado might get him home for Kelly Rubley. But I go with the other Kelly Rubley colt in this race, the 11 Bombonero with your leading rider, Jevion Toledo aboard. This horse been in very good form his last 3 starts. A nice win at Delaware to break his maiden 3 starts ago. 4th behind Tennessee Wildcat, who's in good form right now. 2 starts to go, and then a real good 3rd last out at this level. I think Toledo will get a nice trip coming from behind here on the 11 Bombonero. We'll get a decent price, maybe 5-6 to 1 on the 11.
Both those horses of Rubley's, Bombonero and Kid Jeter, they're like mirror images of each other. Same kind of running style, set about 5 or 6 out of it, make kind of a steady run, and then boom, they come near the wire. Do they want to keep going or not? A little bit of hang in both of these horses. The 1, Keep It Up, is going to be my top selection in race number 6 for Thomas Morley. We've got a little bit of a note on Keep It Up if we've got guys for race number 6. There it is. 2nd time as a gelding for this runner today. Back to turf and stretching out. The lone sib for this horse to try to turf was 4 for 18 going a distance of ground on the grass and made $230,000. This horse, as I said, first time gelding on the turf. The only time this horse tried to turf back in August at Laurel, you see that race, Top Hat City, Clever Triad, Rule Yourself. Those 3 all came back to run 70 or better. Keep It Up gets a forward spot in here. Not a lot of speed. I think a stalk and pounce run is in order for the 1, Keep It Up.
Now, Fergal Lynch had a nice win yesterday. He'll get a ground-saving trip here on the 1. Keep it up. I don't use that runner, but I like the 4. Bow Spirit. I think the 4 get a good trip with Daniel Centeno aboard for trainer Milan Milosevic. A good second 2 starts ago behind Tempt Me twice against Allowance Company. And it ran okay, going 9 furlongs last out at this same 25,000 start Allowance Company. So I think Centeno gets a good trip today on the 4 Bow Spirit. Be running late here for Milan Milosevic.
Agreed. I really liked him last time. I liked him the 2-back try. A good effort when he split horses late. Last time, just a little flatting. Maybe the shortening up a little extra ground. That was the race that they had to move, I believe, because of the turf course. They made it in about distance and changed courses there, if I remember. Bowsprit, though, the 2-back try, awfully good against a better group of horses. I think maybe get this horse outside of runners turning for home, and that will enhance the run for the 4 Bowsprit. I like this horse back again today.
Poor kid Jeter. He ran a winning race 2 starts ago, and here come jump ship for Boucher at 25 to 1, 10 wide. And then he got in all kinds of traffic last out on October 23rd. But Prado was on this horse back on September 17th. A really good second that day to Tennessee Wildcat, who, like I said before, is in very good form. Today could be the day for the kid, 4-year-old son of Lemon Drop Kid. He's 0 for 11 this year, but always gives you an honest effort for Kelly Rubin.
No, he and Bombonera, they're definitely going to try. They're right there. Looking for anybody else. David Chant, he gets so far back. It's so wide, but, I mean, looking at some other figures on this horse, he's right there in the mix. He just kind of got to be able to save a little bit more ground before making that run.
All right, let's take a look here at race 7. A nice first level allowance contest for Maryland Breds going 6 furlongs on the main track, 3 and up. My best bet of the day here. You like the Lion as well. Tricky Lion, 5-year-old son of Lionhearted for trainer Dale Capuano. Nice win last out, sprinting on the turf, so we know he's in good form. He had a very good second in the same kind of allowance race back in September behind Lewis Field. Lewis Field came right back to win, so we know Tricky Lion's in good form. Sheldon Russell with a nice win yesterday. The Dale Capuano barn having a big fall meet, so I like the 6 Tricky Lion, my best bet today.
This horse is reminding me of Dr. Bolt a little bit. Maybe a little bit better version than the Doctor, where he didn't have a whole lot of speed, Now all of a sudden, where's the speed coming from? I mean, last time out, I did not expect that horse to be right on the engine, but went ahead and dictated, beat a good fit. Look at the number, 84 on the turf, back to the dirt. Last time turf to dirt, ran an 80 buyer behind Louisville, who came back to win clear. I think running an 87 buyer, and yeah, this horse will have enough speed to run it. He just keeps on chugging along in top form for Dale Capuano. He'll sit and, measure the speed up front and come running.
All right, so a cold 6-1 exacta for us. The 1 Eastern Bay, a nice 3-year-old here for trainer Ferris Allen, is a winner here at Laurel Park. This will be his second race coming off a long layoff. He ran very good last out, second beating the neck behind Dr. Bolt on the turf. Now he gets back to the dirt today.
Ran against the right kind of horses in that debut at 2, and then early on in the 3-year-old year, came back off of a layoff, didn't disgrace itself at all, just beating the neck on the turf. I like to move back to the dirt. This horse will be rallying. I think Victory Chimes will be there a long, long way. Good angle for Mary Upper. Look at that, 61 to 180 days, 44-horse sample, 27% winners with an ROI of $2.70. Last time was down inside around the turn, took some pressure. I like this move back to the outside. We'll kind of probably track Marty with the party and try to go on with it from there and hold off Tricky Lion.
Best Kind of Trouble had a sharp win against Maiden Special Weight Company on a fast track. Sumi, who was second that race, came right back to win. This horse in the slop last out was just an okay third. I think Best Kind of Trouble gets back to a real strong race today on a fast track for trainer Timmy Keith.
Yeah, part of the pace. He's going to have to kind of keep going a little bit more than what he's shown, even in that from that maiden score. So a tough little trip. He's kind of maybe sandwiched between the speed types too. The 3, Marty with the party and Victory Chimes.
All right, let's take a look here at race 8. Nice allowance feature of the day. It's an upper level 2 other than optional, claiming 25,000, going 5.5 furlongs on the all-along turf course. We have a video spotlight here for you. The 7 Summer Frock. Here's Summer Frock's race from October 22nd here at Laurel Park.
Yeah. Pretty much a lifetime best, if you want to call it that, for Summer Frock. Really like the way she relaxed in behind horses, down to the inside, a little bit of a box. Has to go up inside early, leaving the quarter pole to the 3/16. Perez is going to go. He says, maybe I'll try to slip through inside. Maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and angle out here in mid-stretch and watch Summer Frock level off the last 1/8 of a mile. I mean, this is about as eager as I've ever seen her go the final furlong of a race. Kicks away nicely, wins by 3 1/4. Same day, If you look, this was the same day as the favorite, Monet Davis, and the same course. Only a tick off of that one. That was against a little bit lesser company. That's why I've kind of just got her, underneath of Monet, of More Than Likely. I like one of these two to win it, the 1A, the 7. Slight edge to the 1A. But, Figgins can get these horses to run back off of the top figure, too. I had a little stat here. ROI of 330 with runners on the turf topping their, running a top buyer last time out. So it works there. Summer Frock or More Than Likely.
Well, Figgins having a nice meet, and Summer Frock should get a nice trip from the 7-hole. I'm going to go with the 4, Northern Eclipse on top. What a nice claim this horse was for trainer Hugh McMahon and owner Toby Roth. She loves the grass here at Laurel Park. 8 for 9 in the money with 4 wins, and what a year she's having. She's 8 for 9 in the money this year. She made over $120,000. They claimed her for $16,000 last winter, gave her the winner off, and what a nice turf sprinter she's been for them. A good second in the Oakley 2 starts ago. Third last out with a wide trip. Sheldon Russell gets aboard today. I like the 4, Northern Eclipse on top.
You got to love to own a horse like this, get speed, tactical speed as well. Doesn't necessarily need to lead and can make a move into a quick pace and stay around for a while. Northern Eclipse will be, a tough one here in race number 8. But the 1A, More Than Likely, we liked this horse last time out. Got 3-1 against that Clement runner who was the favorite coming from New York. More Than Likely is a half to hootenanny. We talked about this horse last time, a Breeders' Cup winner on the grass. More Than Likely has a bright future. Might even have an easier go of it today. Was down inside and kept on going. Today draws outside and stalks.
And gets Fergal Lynch. So, More Than Likely could be a nice blame filly here for trainer Arnaud Delacour. And I thought I'll throw the 10 in there in my top 3 here. Sicey for trainer Trez Abbott. Forrest Boyce will ride this horse. Won a nice 2 other than allowance race back in August at Delaware. Didn't run very well last out in a 3 other than, but now drops back down to the 2 other than allowance condition today. And could get a nice trip from the 10-hole with Forrest Boyce aboard.
Maybe a little bit one-dimensional for me. Ion Berlin could pose a threat, though. A lot of outside pressure to that runner. Not a bad try. 2 races back behind Summer Frock. Ion Berlin will be a pace factor, I think, somewhere to about mid-stretch. Yep.
All right, take a look here at the 9th and final race of the afternoon. 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming $10,000 for 3 and up. I went 3 deep here on my late pick 5 ticket. You're what, the 7 deep here in this race, and that's how you have to play these maiden 10s. They're wide open. We get big handles. They like to bet these maiden 10s. I'm going to go with a long shot, the 8. Big, bold Bach. You're getting 12-1 with the leading rider, Jevion Toledo, aboard for trainer Cal Lynch. And this horse, an okay second, 2 starts ago on the main track against maiden 16,000 company. Now takes a drop to the maiden 10 for strong connections and the leading rider. I'll go with the 8, Big, bold Bach, my top pick.
Yeah, talk about the favorite real quick. Hasn't been on the dirt in a while. Back at Saratoga, August 23rd was the last time this 4-year-old son of Super Saver, it was a $180,000 purchase. They don't like what they got now, I guess, down to $10,000, kind of a giveaway. Ran a 53 buyer on the dirt, 57 prior to that. Those 2 numbers basically stick out against anybody else in the field, save maybe Patriot Saint, who ran those figures late in 2016, early 2017. Super Colors, I think, will be the favorite in here. Price shot, just like you're going for a shot, I'll go for the 1, Tamachi Creek. Showed good speed last time, showed good speed in debut, but carried that speed a little bit better after doing the dirty work, chasing Argento last time out with a clean break. I think Tamachi Creek could kind of go ahead and maybe dictate this field.
And he gets 7 pounds off with the Bug Boy Sabalos, and probably right to the front here for the 1. Tamachi Creek just be the second time at the maiden 10 level, so it looked like he gained a little more confidence in that last race.
Yep.
All right, now I used a 4 in the exact. We both like the 10 a little bit here as well on the outside. Miss My People for Robbie Bales. We're going from a bug rider to Horacio Caramanos here on the 10, Miss My People.
Yeah, I caught this horse, used this horse at 30-1, then back at 25-1 last time out, the 7 furlongs. Just ran into the buzzsaw, break the motor. We like in the opener this afternoon. Miss My People turning back a furlong is a good move for that one. Yep.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Dave Rodman, he's coming up next. We'll have today's scratches and changes. 9 live races. Bruin Bourbon Classic today. Nice big $10,000 carryover for you in race 1 for that super high 5. Keep your eye on that. We'll be back after the scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.